If you've ever sat in a room watching everyone else get it on the first pass, the lesson, the new tool, the skill, while you needed 3 more reps, 5 more tries, a whole extra week before it finally clicked, and quietly decided that something in you is just slower, I want you to hear this. You are not a slow learner. You're wiring it to last. The extra time you take isn't a leak in the system. It's the system laying down a deeper track. Picture 2 paths worn into a hillside. One was made by someone who ran across, once, fast, leaving a faint line in the grass that the next rain washes away. The other was made by someone who walked it again and again, pressing the ground a little harder each time, until the path was carved deep enough to last through every season. From a distance, on day 1, the fast runner looks like the winner. Come back in a year, and only one path is still there. That's what's happening when learning feels slow. The fast grasp is a faint line, the effortful one. The version where you struggle, get it wrong, circle back, and finally understand, is the path that gets carved deep. It feels worse in the moment. It lasts far longer in your life. Let me tell you about Marcus. In school, he was the kid who stayed stuck on one problem while the rest of the class flipped the page. A single math concept could cost him a whole evening, while his friends seemed to absorb it between the bell and the bus. By every visible measure, he was behind, and he believed it. He carried the word slow around like a name tag he'd been handed and never asked for. But Marcus had one stubborn habit. He refused to fake understanding. When something didn't make sense, he wouldn't move on until it did. Even if that meant being the last one to finish, again. He'd take the idea apart, get it wrong, rebuild it, and only then let it go. Here's what nobody noticed at the time. Months later, when the class was tested on the same material, the kids who'd breezed through had to relearn half of it. Marcus didn't. What he had built slowly had stayed built. The concepts he'd fought for were still standing, load-bearing, while the quick versions had quietly washed away. Years on, Marcus is the one people come to when they actually need to understand something. Not just pass the test, but get it deep enough to use under pressure. The thing he was ashamed of turned out to be the thing that made his knowledge dependable. He wasn't slow. He was building foundations while everyone else was sketching outlines. There's real science under this, and it has a name. The psychologist Robert Bjork spent decades studying memory, and he gave us a phrase that flips the whole story. Desirable difficulties. Here's the part that matters for you. Bjork found that the conditions which make learning feel hard and slow in the moment are often the exact conditions that make it stick for the long run. When information comes easily, your brain files it shallow. It feels like learning, but it's the faint line in the grass. When you have to struggle to retrieve something, to reconstruct it, to wrestle it into place, your brain encodes it deeper. It builds more roots back to that memory, so you can find it again later. The effort isn't friction slowing you down. The effort is the encoding. This is why cramming feels productive and disappears by Friday, while the thing you struggled over for weeks is still there years later. Fast and easy optimizes for how you feel today. Slow and effortful optimizes for whether you'll still have it when it counts. Bjork's whole point is that the difficulty you've been treating as a defect is, in many cases, the very mechanism of durable learning. So the slowness you've been apologizing for? That's not your brain failing to keep up. That's your brain refusing to build something flimsy. So here is the reframe. You're not a slow learner, you're a deep one. The extra reps aren't evidence that you're behind. They're the cost of building something that won't fall down. Stop measuring yourself by who finished first. The race was never the point, because the race rewards the faint line, and life rewards the deep path. Speed wins the morning. Depth wins the decade. And notice what the effort is actually doing. Every time you circle back, every time you sit with the hard part instead of skipping it, you're not falling further behind. You're laying another layer of foundation, reinforcing the wiring rep by rep, until the thing you're learning is carved so deep that no ordinary forgetting can wash it out. You're not just absorbing the information, you're anchoring it. The fast learner has the answer today. You're building the kind of understanding that's still yours in 10 years. Those are not the same achievement, and only one of them lasts. The researcher, Anders Ericsson, who spent his life studying how true expertise is actually built, put it plainly. He said, "It is the amount of deliberate practice that people put in that really separates the very best from the rest. Not the speed of the first pass. The hours of effortful, careful work, the deep path, walked again and again, are what separate lasting skill from a clever first impression. So the next time you feel behind because you needed more reps than the person beside you, try not to call yourself slow. Try instead to picture the two paths on the hillside and ask yourself which one is still going to be there in a year, the faint line or the one you carved deep. If this is the kind of reframe that helps you see yourself a little more kindly, this whole channel is built on it. One quiet shift at a time. Subscribe and stay with the series because the next one is for you too. And I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you learned slowly, struggled with, almost gave up on, that you now know better than anyone around you? Tell me in the comments. Sometimes, the proof that slow built it deep is already sitting right there in your own life.